Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the story of a tiny, almost hidden bar that became a global phenomenon and is now embarking on a massive expansion that has investors buzzing. We're talking about Death & Co. Imagine this, it's New Year's Eve, 2006. A 24-year-old named David Kaplan opens a small, blink-and-don't-miss-it cocktail bar in Manhattan's East Village. Just 5 days later, the New York Times runs a feature on it. Suddenly, the city's cocktail lovers are captivated. A line forms outside the door, and honestly, it hasn't really gone away since. Fast forward to today. Death & Co. is one of the most recognized and respected names in the cocktail world. Their bars welcome over 10,000 visitors every single week, and the company is on track to hit $20 million in revenue this year. This isn't just any bar. It's been listed in the world's 50 best bars, and its cocktail recipe book made history as the first ever drinks book to win the prestigious James Beard Award for Book of the Year. That's like the Oscars for food and beverage. But here's where the story gets really interesting. They're not just content with being an iconic brand. They have their sights set on a new frontier, building a global hospitality business. And they're doing it in some really smart ways. They're launching a new, more scalable bar brand called Close Company, which delivers that signature Death & Co. experience in a more approachable format. They're also moving into boutique hotels with a concept called Midnight Auteur, which opens up new, higher-margin revenue streams. And it doesn't stop there. They're even branching into e-commerce and online cocktail education. This ambitious plan is turning heads. Bloomberg called it a shrewd and natural evolution for a company that has already mastered the art of experience. But what's making this growth story even more compelling is how they're funding it. Instead of going the traditional Wall Street route, Death & Co. decided to do something different. They chose to bring their own community, their loyal customers and fans on board as investors. It's a strategy that even got a spotlight from CNN, and the response has been absolutely incredible. More than 3,000 people have already invested in the company. The support was so overwhelming that they had to increase their maximum fundraising goal, and they expect to exceed it again before the current round closes. This level of investor support is a massive vote of confidence, not just in the brand they've built, but in the future they're creating. So, let's talk numbers, because this is where it gets really exciting for potential investors. The company is projecting a staggering 5.5x revenue growth in just 4 years. That's a scaling pace, 200% faster than leading hospitality brands. How are they achieving this? Through rapid, strategic openings. They've already opened 3 new properties this year alone. And in the coming months, they're planning to open 5 more. This includes a basement bar called the Hot Eye at their new hotel in Savannah, Georgia. A Close Company cocktail bar in Atlanta, their very first international Death & Co. locations in Melbourne and Brisbane, Australia, and a brand new Death & Co. in Seattle's Pioneer Square, opening just in time for the city to host the World Cup in 2026. Now, you might be thinking, that's a lot of new locations. Isn't that incredibly expensive? And normally, you'd be right, but Death & Co. has developed a powerful, capital-light growth strategy. Instead of spending their growth capital on real estate and expensive furnishings, they've structured deals where real estate developers pay those upfront costs. This is a game changer. It means Death & Co. can turn their growth into profits much faster. They've already grown their margin dollars by 7x and are projecting a $6.8 million increase in net income by 2028. This capital-efficient model is a key reason why so many investors are paying close attention. Of course, with any private investment, the big question is, how and when do I see a return? Death & Co.'s leadership is very transparent about their long-term vision. While a public offering, or IPO, is one possibility, founder David Kaplan believes that a future sale to a larger, established hospitality group might be the most favorable outcome for everyone. This strategy has worked well for other respected brands in the industry, where the customer experience remains world-class even after an acquisition. The goal, Kaplan says, is to build significant, meaningful value, and then pursue an exit when market conditions are just right. They're raising funds now at a $58.5 million valuation, with a long-term target of reaching $120 to $150 million. The leadership team sees a potential exit happening within a 3 to 5 year time frame, though that always depends on market dynamics. As Kaplan puts it, a future liquidity event isn't just about the financial return. It's about honoring the community of investors who believed in them and helped fuel this incredible growth from the very beginning. And that brings me to one of the coolest parts of this opportunity. When you invest in Death & Co., you're not just a name on a spreadsheet. You become part of the inner circle. The company has designed some amazing real-world benefits to make investors feel like insiders. For example, anyone who invests $2,500 or more gets priority reservations at all Death & Co. properties. If you've ever waited in that line, you know how valuable that is. You also get invitations to exclusive investor-only happy hours and pre-opening events, plus free access to their new cocktail education platform. Fashioned. As the investment tiers go up, the perks get even better. We're talking signed books and artwork, a 10% discount on every single visit, or even this is my favorite, enjoying cocktails at their 2007 menu price of $12 for life. It's a fantastic, nostalgic nod to their early days. For those who invest at the highest levels, the opportunities are truly once in a lifetime. You could host a private cocktail party at one of their iconic venues, or even collaborate with their world-class team to create a signature cocktail that gets named in your honor. The message is crystal clear. At Death & Co., investors are a core part of the story. So, if this sounds like something you want to be a part of, here's how you can get involved. Investing is straightforward. You can participate directly through the company's investment page, and shares are currently priced at $2.13 each. But, and this is important, timing is critical. This unique opportunity to invest in a brand with such a rich history and an explosive future ends on October 30th. It's a very limited window to claim your stake and join the thousands of others who have already become part of the Death & Co. journey. It's a rare chance to invest in a brand that combines cultural significance, a passionate community, and a seriously smart business strategy. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this interesting, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. See you in the next video.